Hi there, Charlie here. Well, obviously I'm in my car. Hi. Um, there's a lot that wants to kind of flow out of me right now. I don't know how your channeling works or your conversation or your whatever works, but for us, it kind of operates like a fill the reservoir wherever it resides in the body and brain. And then when it's go time, out it comes. uh, and especially if there's like an intense amount of feelings and like just I made a video yesterday venting my frustrations and honestly kind of whistleblowing a little bit on some things that had been a problem for us personally kind of this whole season, and just really boiled over into a really frustrated experience. And I can completely appreciate the whatever policy they have about animals and like whatever. I came up with a solution myself that could easily just be me posting in the general chat and saying, everyone, would anyone like to trade rooms? I'm in secret. I need someone in the trailer park in one of whatever the approved trailer rooms are for dogs, and whoever's co-sharing that space to be cool with it too. It's a long shot, but I at least wanted to try. And that is something that I might do and could do. But to an extent, I'm just not personally interested in doing PNC's job for them. Mainly because, yes, my central nervous system is fucking all over the place, y'all. Oh my god. Oh my god. But interestingly, because of how filled with fire and rage I kind of am right now, at least I'm not suicidal, right? And the whole reason and concern was because of that, actually. So, to an extent, PNC filling me with illogic, and that was really you can't give an illogical argument to an autistic person. They fucking need to understand how to talk to the so many people on Omega's campus are on the autism spectrum, have ADHD. And I will say, if you have ADHD, working at Omega actually seems to be pretty fantastic. Like, stressful, sure, but like the overall vibes of Omega, if you have ADHD, it's just going to be a ride for you. You're going to really love it. If you have autism of any kind, I don't know, working at Omega is going to hurt. It's going to hurt. You're going to get traumatized by it. That might be helpful. Could be helpful trauma. Like one of those like life experiences where you get to the other side and you're just like, okay, well now I know what ride not to ride, you know, like what multiple rides not to ride, because there's ambiguity like you would not fucking believe. The rules are constantly changing. Like there are official ones, but then there's the ones that are actually there. You will get yelled at for helping, despite the fact that you are literally doing what you watch someone who is in a leadership position for your department fucking do. No, you're just wrong. You're wrong all the time, at least a little bit, but according to someone. There's just, if you have autism, I would highly recommend not working for the Omega Institute, at least not more than like a few weeks as like a taste. You can do a taster and be safe on a central nervous system basis, but because of the shifting energies and because of how sensitive you are already, if you have an autism spectrum brain, your central nervous system is already turned up. You already have more sensitivity to energetic shifts already. And Omega is just a place where that's just constantly happening in influx, right? Not to mention, if you have autism spectrum, more people on the autism spectrum are in need of emotional support animals. Emotional support animals are not really welcome at Omega unless they're a cat. That's just because cats are easy, usually indoors. Probably other reasons, you know, up to and including just the fact that that's sort of been a part of it. And I actually don't know. I kind of had like a question last night. I was just like, hey, cats of Omega, and they were like, what, what, like as a collective. And I was like, do you like not want dogs here? And they were just like, I mean, we kind of like that it's sort of a cat vibe, right? And I'm just like, I respect that. I really do. So it's entirely possible that that's also just a part of it, right? But as a very highly sensitive bodied person with a severe trauma history and this, just way in which my brain and body interact with the, world, having a nice, stable central nervous system animal, which dogs are, in addition to the rejection sensitivity buffer that a dog provides, like, it's always really funny to me when people are like, I don't like dogs, they're too easy to love, and I'm just like, excuse me, that's the benefit. I need constant reassurance. The rejection sensitivity in this being is so high all the time, thanks to all of the life rejection that started at birth, by the way. Lifelong, okay? Like, yeah, I do need a little creature that's like, hi, you're the most amazing thing I've ever seen because I see you right now. Yes. And having that makes me better at being the human who makes Omega worth coming to. Y'all, Omega is like almost 50 years old. Has been at that spot almost the whole time, since 77. There have been big improvements. I'm going on a tour of the OCSL today, finally, because I didn't realize that everyone in the garden takes turns doing the tours. I wasn't ever told that, and I think that's a really cool little fascinating little tidbit. And like, the next time I'm talking to a guest, I'm gonna not only like push the OCSL tour, which we don't really have as signage anywhere, and I have a joke about signage in a minute, we'll get back to it, but we don't have the signage anywhere that basically like celebrates that, and the OCSL is a big thing to celebrate. Like, I'm gonna see if I can like video record any of it, and if I can't, I'm just gonna talk about it because it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's really cool. I lost my train of thought. Trains. Sorry. The guy I just started a thing with, he likes trains. And so do I. And there's 2 dogs right there. There's also a baby, but like the dogs drew my attention first, but the baby's really cute. Okay. See? ADHD. I went off on a little tangent. I'm still undecided as to whether or not having DID is... I'll say this. You know how some roller coasters, you look at it and you're just like, I don't think that's safe, but like, I kind of want to know what that experience is like. If you have DID, working at Omega is that. You're like that would be my recommendations. Very much a like, use extreme caution. And I think that you will enjoy the experience and do much better if you do something like being a staff programs teacher or something. If you teach yoga, if you teach meditation, if you like those opportunities that are more short term, and like you just bring whichever of y'all do that to it, and then you just kind of enjoy the ride while you're there too. I think that's very good and very healthy and would be very accepted, especially as an open person, because I have experienced acceptance for just DID in general. Still treat it a little bit as a spectacle. A little bit. Scout comes out. People that don't usually sit at my table tend to come sit, even though Scout is not one that talks. Like, she's verbal, she'll answer questions, but you need to develop rapport with her before she'll actually talk. Otherwise, she's deeply uncomfortable. She doesn't really like, and I'm learning this. We didn't know. It's not. This is the first time that we've done this openly, but put the cat ears on so that people know. But it really is more of a like, not Charlie. So it's just, you might be treated a little bit as a spectacle. I'm pretty sure that's just DID though for people now. So that's personal recommendations. Autism, you're going to be overwhelmed. So have all your tools, and maybe have a cat. Maybe have a cat. Maybe that's, I haven't turned the car back on because it is hot. Yeah, maybe a cat, ESA situation. ADHD, you're just gonna have an interesting ride, I'm sure. And I'm blanketly saying this stuff. Obviously, your own individual experiences may vary, but you will find that most people at Omega are on some spectrum of some sort. That's been my experience. Diagnosed? Probably not, because that takes like thousands of dollars. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna make my joke about the signage real quick. And then I do need to talk about one other thing. That is also just I have concerns about how things have been handled so far. This is the only way that I feel safe talking about it. So I'm doing that. And because of my video yesterday, I had 2 different people reach out to me and say, because I did send them the video, like personally. I was just like, by the way, if you want to know what's going on, here. They did watch it and, very concerned, asked me to take it down because they were concerned I was going to get fired. And that's how I know it was what I should have done. Like, because fear of Charlie getting fired for speaking her truth on her personal vlog about her experience as a person with a lot of needs who really does try very hard to do a good job here and does a good job here. I'm just saying, as a performer and as an entertainer, you like when something lands with an audience, you know? And the fact that they were so scared that they reached out to me to ask me to take it down, it was very, I was very grateful for that concern, and also very much just like, wow, okay, check, did it. Randy called it a takedown video. I was like, oh, that wasn't. But then he said it and I felt kind of proud of it, and I was just like, I guess it was kind of a takedown thing, I'm sorry. But I'm not, actually. I was upset. I was upset. I still remain upset. Signage joke. Omega. Okay, 1, we have a lack of signage problem at Omega. We just do. You cannot often tell where the parking lot is. Like, people get confused about that, and it's okay. That part's fine. But we have a checkout policy. Checkout from your room is by 1 p.m. You can leave the key in your room. You can take it to guest services, the tent in the parking lot. Honestly, you can just hand it to someone. It'll get there. It'll get where it needs to go. Just don't take it home, right? We also do pick up bags and take them down to a luggage tent in the parking lot, because Omega's campus is very hilly and it's just a service that we provide. Pickup times are 9 a.m. or 1 p.m. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half is the expected window for when you can expect your bags to be at the tent, ready and waiting for you. It's very weird to me that every single day we have so many guests who make their way to guest services to ask about checkout. It would be very easy to have one sign in their room that just lists, put your bags on the porch by 9 a.m. for the 9 a.m. luggage pickup, or 1 p.m. for the 1 p.m. luggage pickup. Expected delivery time to tent, hour, leave your key in the room. That's checkout, just a little checkout procedure thing. And the whole towel exchange thing that happens on Wednesdays that not everybody knows about. Again, by this time, put your towels on the front porch in a pile. Fresh towels will be provided. Have a need for something different? Here's the number for guest services. Would be so simple. And in the event that Omega actually does take that suggestion, just based on what I've seen, because we do have such a lack of signs, that typos, they're really, you really do need someone maybe with an autism spectrum brain to just to proofread, you know? You could do it, you could have a volunteer on staff do it, you know? Like, hey, who wants to proofread stuff? Who's like really meticulous with being able to spot things? Because someone with an autism brain sees everything and sees it in multidimensionality and is like, oh, haha, that's funny, that's not where that goes, right? Because the very first sign that people see when they come into the parking lot, we're glad you're here. is like luggage that way, and then like at the bottom, we're glad you're here. The apostrophe on the your is Y-O-U-R apostrophe E. Y-O-U-R apostrophe E. I don't know if I want to show you because that feels a little bitchy, and maybe it is, but Y-O-U-R apostrophe E. You can feel, I'm so uncomfortable about the fact that that's the first sign that people see at Omega. Come on, y'all. Come on. Also, and this is actually kind of like an Easter egg thing. By the dish return, there's a sign that says thank you, like kind of in a circle, like thank you, like all around. One of them says thank you. There's not a T. And honestly, at this point, because it's such a big sign, it would be really expensive to like change it. I think in the event of any of this stuff actually going viral, and I mean like viral in like, I don't know, people just, you get it, right? I don't know. Tom Hanks comes to mind. Sort of a thank you. I don't know, because I see it and I think Tom Hanks, and I'm just like, are they trying to manifest Tom Hanks here? Because like that'd be fun. Tom Hanks at Omega for like something. I don't know. Oh, a tangent of a thing I was just talking about earlier for people. Okay. So, putting all the jokey stuff aside for a second. The people that work at Omega are what make Omega work. We are why participants keep coming back. Yes, they come back for the workshops, but it's only Brian Weiss that only goes to Omega. Like, people that do workshops at Omega do workshops elsewhere too. And yes, for many, it's just the more convenient place. And yes, for certain things like Family Week, that's just a tradition and people just do the thing because tradition. And that's great. But that is not a sustainable business model. You know, like, it costs way more money to get new than it does to keep current. Like, that's just business 101. And you want people coming back year over year, you know, but costs continue to rise. Getting places continues to be way more challenging. And hi, this is the Hudson Valley. It has a beautiful history of big, booming, blah, and then crash because it just got cheaper and easier to go elsewhere, right? And you combine that with what really is, in some cases, not a crumbling infrastructure, although some instances, yeah, a little bit crumbling infrastructure, at least for staff. I complained about it yesterday. But when guests come and their experience includes just continual ant infestations, had some rodent stuff kind of happening, that makes sense. We're in the woods. That all makes sense. And that's why there are people there, so that when someone comes in and they are really bothered by what they're experiencing, we're there to help them. And our maintenance team gets it done, and our housekeeping folks can clean stuff. Like, there's reasons why the people help with the fact that we're in nature. You come to nature, right? You come to a nature-based place, you're going to experience nature-based things. That's not a problem. Ant infestations, they happen because like lots of rain happens. Not a problem. Just kind of part of the Omega experience sometimes. And like, because of that, and because of how much people point out their appreciation for people when they leave, our guest feedback, it names individuals more than any other guest feedback I've ever seen. I'm a program evaluation like expert. It's been most of my career is doing program evaluation work. I do it on a contract basis. People don't tend to get specific with comments. Not really. Only when they've been impacted. And people get impacted by the staff at Omega. We matter. We're the experience. They're coming for a lot of things, but they're coming for what we provide them collectively. And it really concerns me when systematic problems just are pervasive here. I have gotten yelled at by a manager of a different team for helping, for doing what someone in a leadership position in my team told me she does if it gets to this level. got a phone call for a third time from a participant whose room hadn't been fully cleaned because there was just a breakdown in what either communication or whatever was happening with the person cleaning it that day. It doesn't matter. We all fuck up sometimes, but a fuck up happened. A fuck up happened. The guest was really upset. I was the one that answered the call. Even on the phone, I assessed the situation. And in that moment, I said, you know what? Because all she was saying was she was just so angry and she was just give me the cleaning products. I will do it myself. Just give me the cleaning products. That was where it got to. She was at a 10. And so I assessed the situation and I said, oh no, I'm going to come. I'll come clean it right now. I said it just like that. And then I got my little cleaning products and I went right on down to her room. I cleaned it. We had a conversation. She's been coming to Omega for years. She's one of those who brings some of her own stuff, but she forgot to bring some of her cleaning supplies this time. And I think that's awfully interesting that there are people who've been coming since the 90s who bring their own cleaning supplies. That tells a lot. I didn't know that coming into Omega. I didn't know that. So she kind of did have some expectations. And even she was deeply just frazzled because we are all so frazzled right now. And I helped. And it was a lovely conversation. I cleaned her whole bathroom. She was super grateful. I said nothing to anyone, but the next day, manager comes in, gets very upset because I guess her boss found out and she was in trouble. I don't know, but I got yelled at. And I did the auto response of doing anything other than agreeing with you and apologizing will do nothing here, so that's all I will do. And I was compliant and I apologized and blah. But I was deeply hurt by that. And I was never apologized to, even though my boss was bothered by it and I'm assuming had a conversation with her. I don't know. I never got follow-up on it. I didn't ask. I don't like asking because I just like to let things go as much as I can and just be done with it because an unreasonable person does stuff like that. And I don't like that energy. I don't want to be around it at all. And that's not healthy. And if that's how that person is with her team, what the fuck? It's, ego shit happens. And yeah, that was me just oversharing about something that will definitely get a lot of people really pissed off at me. But I don't appreciate that the response to me being attacked for helping was, oh, well, yeah, that's just how she is. Or, oh, yeah, she's yelled at me for blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, why are we living and working in an environment where that is a reasonable way for someone to respond to what occurred here? I apparently didn't do the protocol of calling housekeeping and talking to supervisor in housekeeping, even though that had happened during the second call that the participant had done. The only reason I did it was because we'd gotten to call 3. And no one had done what even I saw a supervisor tell someone to do, to the extent that I saw and heard the supervisor tell them to do it. Because again, sometimes we just fuck up. And in my opinion, in a communal setting, when someone fucks up and you're capable of helping, you help because that's what community is. You don't follow protocols in community, you help when you can. That's the foundation of what Omega was built on, at least. That was the whole point of Elizabeth Lesser's speech the first day. Community. We're all in this together. And Reggie's community. We're all in this together. Help each other. Okay, I help the way that I know how to help. I get fucking yelled at. And it hurt a lot. I avoid her. Every time I see her, my entire central nervous system is just nope, don't see me. Don't look at me. I don't want you to acknowledge that I exist. And that's fucked. That's so fucked up. That's so fucked up, y'all. So again, if you have autism, this place hurts. It hurts. This is a hurtful place to be with autism. Possibly if you don't too. I only know the neurodivergent life experience, so your experiences may vary. But the fire in me yesterday, one, it did come from the fact that I am deeply concerned for my friend's health and my other friend's health who is still in a trailer with active mold. It's not safe. That's not a safe situation. And if I worked in PNC, it would be my everything to make sure that humans don't go into places that are dangerous. Humans don't live in places that are dangerous. It's dangerous. Why doesn't anyone care? Why doesn't anyone care that this young woman and this other young woman were living and are living in something that's dangerous? I get that it costs money. I get that I don't care. I don't care. People that work at Omega are what make Omega work. We have to be prioritized. And we have to be prioritized as the whole person. And when there is a horrible experience, we have to be prioritized as the whole person in that horrible experience and in community. You have to understand community too. Look, somebody was fired this past week at Omega for violating a sexual harassment policy, but really for just being a fucking predator, okay? Being a predator. He was being a predator. I was not personally victimized. Not everybody knows or knew that he's a predator. A person who had been harassed by him finally was capable of having that ridiculously painful conversation of disclosure that unlocks everything inside of you. And they did take action. He was fired like maybe the next day. I don't know. It wasn't quite that fast because they got things prepared. But he was fired and not on campus again. Like he just, that day, he was just gone. Which is amazing. But they did not do anything else. In my opinion, what they needed to do was send an email saying to everybody, saying, this person was fired today due to violating our sexual harassment policies. For the sake of privacy and respect, we are not disclosing any other information. We want to protect everyone who has been impacted by this. And we strongly encourage everyone here to be respectful, compassionate, and understanding for anyone who is victimized or anyone who is harmed by his behaviors. We do not tolerate that at Omega. We are a community. We work and live together. And we take this seriously. We hope that you understand that we did not take firing him lightly. It was very considered. And we encourage any of you who have thoughts, concerns, comments, or anything else that you want or need to share to do so with us at People in Culture. We are setting aside this time, this date, this time, whatever. Here's our email again. Here's mine. Here's this person's. If there's someone else that you would like to talk to, these managers have stepped forward and said that they are available at these times as well. Please know that we want to listen and we take what you say seriously. End of fucking email. That's how you do that. You don't just fire somebody and then let everybody else talk shit about this mystery, whoever the fuck got this person fired, because that victimizes the victim big time and it makes everything painful and bad. You don't know what people are carrying. You said that to us the first day. The first day. That was what Reggie fucking said. You don't know what people are carrying, and y'all don't either. But you act like you do, and you talk down to all of us, and you say things that are obvious, because to you, you're like, how am I having to say this? Yeah, how am I having to say this? And how is this the only safe way for me to do it? Because I am prone to screaming. That's why. And I didn't want to make a show of myself in the dining hall. And I got a preview earlier this morning, actually, about getting triggered into that channeled frustration rage piece coming out. And I'm already a spectacle, and I am a performer, but this is my preferred platform for the ragey stuff, as opposed to just like random Charlie lost her shit in the dining hall stuff, you know? That was a speech, basically, that I prepared in my sleep, because that's how my entertainment stuff works. And yeah, this is entertainment. I vlog for entertaining purposes, and because it does calm my central nervous system, because to be able to tap into those who watch, for me, allows me to basically give my body literal time to calm down. Sort of like a, where is the central nervous system of the person who's watching this? Cool. Got it. Akashic record. Boop. How long between when I record it and when they see it does that occur? That duration of time. Okay. Boop. Body, you know what to do in that amount of time, right? Got it, Charlie. Got you. Thank you. And then I use that, well, body uses that time dilation to just slow down and release all the cortisol and all the blah, 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 and blah, in actually a more slowed down, regulated fashion. I use the central nervous systems of future people who watch my videos to regulate my central nervous system when there is an overwhelm and an overflow to prevent me from having a meltdown, because meltdowns happen when you have autism. Also, and this is just the case, staff, especially staff with autism, we need a safe place to privately cry on the main campus that has sound dampening so that we can scream if we need to. We need a screaming room or 3 around campus. Don't sign up for it. You just, you either have it's kind of like a porta potty situation, right? Like if it's red, it means it's in use. If it's green, you're good to go in, or preferably not those colors, just in case we have folks that have some color blindness that's going on. But just like in use, not in use, not in use, fully sound dampened, right? Maybe it's hot, that's fine. It doesn't need to be temperature controlled. It just needs to be a private space where for 5 goddamn minutes, you can go cry, you can wail, you can scream, you can bang the goddamn drums that you can't do anything else with anywhere else. Yeah. We need that. Central nervous systems are popping off everywhere. It is a need for staff. I know that costs money. If this goes viral, can people please send money to the Omega Institute? Because money would solve 99% of these problems. It really would. Because if you have money, then you can get people trained and you can get more staff, which would help to have these conversations in general, so that at least there's someone in the fucking room who's like, can you please remember the fucking neurodivergent people when you're having these conversations, because how you're handling this is not healthy and it is going to cause more problems. I also have a donation button on my website and at the bottom of this thing. I'm just hoping this goes viral, because it would really suck to be fired for venting and oversharing stuff about Omega that's been a problem. And I would like to think, I would hope that after, how many videos have I put out about Omega? 80 videos, and I haven't really complained in them. These 2 is basically it. And I've hit my limit. I'm expecting to get fired. I want to go home. I don't really want to go home, but that's what Body's been saying. Body's been saying, get the fuck out of here. This is not a safe place for us. That's what Body's been saying. That's why the suicidal feelings. That's why the overwhelm. This is Charlie in fuck it. Fire me. I'm still going to do a really good job. And I came to Burger Hill. Actually, I'm on my way to Walmart right now because I need more body wash. You didn't need to know that. Yeah. So, righteous indignation is sort of the energy of where I am right now. And that seems to, this is how I handle that. But again, I'm an energy wave rider, so I don't know how other people handle it. I hope everyone who does so responsibly, right? This is as responsible as I can be. I don't feel safe having conversations with leadership here at Omega. Not here at Burger Hill, but at Omega, I don't feel safe, because I felt listened to by my boss about Mabel and about my need and about how burnt out I am and about how genuinely done I am. And I'm sorry, but I've also been very open about having autism, about having DID, about just being a person who just needs a little bit more care when we have conversations, please. And you can't give me illogical answers after making me wait for 2 weeks without actually trying. Putting me in a mold-filled space because that's what you have when there's 3 empty trailers that I know about is a very painful thing to experience, and makes me angry because of the mold situation and the rotting trailer situation. We just had mid-season inspections of our places. Why do that if not to assess for, is this a safe place for staff to exist so that they can be their best selves for participants? I'm here to be of service. The vibe of some folks that work at Omega is not that. And like, I get why. And it sucks because I want them to feel the like in-service feeling, because it is actually very rewarding. It's wonderful to help someone feel better. One last little story, and then I'll go for now and hopefully talk about the OCSL a little bit. I know this is a long video, but hey, maybe fewer people will watch it, and I don't know. I have no idea. But this woman was coming in. She came in late. What was supposed to be a 2-hour ride to get here ended up being a 5-hour ride to get here, with a busted tire and this like plans changing stuff. And I instantaneously recognized the autism brained response. And I don't obviously know if people have it, but also we recognize our own, you know, like. You can feel the mirror, and you can feel the overwhelm of like, oh yeah, this was already kind of an emotional stretch for you. Oh yeah, everything that you just experienced has been very like, oh, because she came into guest services after parking her car, getting the bags out. They had pointed her in the go there for registration direction, but the lack of signage means that people mistake the big building that's right next to the parking lot for guest services, because from the tent pointing at the registration building, the main office, it's the same direction as guest services. Guest services is just past it, is the thing. And all you'd have to do is have a nice big banner that says registration or check in here. Check in here. Check in here. It's helpful. Banners are helpful. Signs are helpful. People still miss them, but like in general, helpful. Especially for your neurodivergent people. We need signs. Signs are helpful. They help us ground and make sense of the world when things are crazy. Because then I can be like, what do I do? What do I do? Oh, the sign says do that. I know how to do that. I'll go there. Instead of interaction with a human, oh my God, I've already spent that. What direction? What are you talking about? I go over there. Okay, I'm gonna keep walking. Guest services. I see a sign that says guest services. They'll help me. That's where I go. Okay. That's how she got to us. And unfortunately, when people do that, we have to be like, I'm so sorry. You actually just passed registration. You got to go back across the street into that building and have more interactions with people, despite the fact that you're now interacting with me. And I know I'm delightful because I greeted you with this beautiful smile, right? She had a meltdown. She just collapsed. And when I say collapsed, I mean collapsed. Like, had a meltdown. I could see the tears starting. I asked if I could hug her. I hugged her. She fell into my arms. She was late to her workshop that had already started. It was starting to get dark. She was panicking. I took her out to the front porch. We sat, we chatted. I made light of whatever I could, tried to get that central nervous system activated and flowing. And I basically was just like, honey, you're already here. You've made it to Omega. All we need you to do at this point is sign something for us, get a little bit of information, then I can pop you on the cart, get you and your luggage up to where you rented. But for now, since your workshop has already started, let me take you there. Let me take you there, and then after it's done, I'll pick you up, we'll take care of you. We'll make sure that we got what you need. That's what we do. That's what we provide. That's a service that we provide, is basically you're at Omega. Obviously we have rules here. Obviously we do things by procedure here. And we see you as the human that you are, and we understand the complexity that you came here with, because you came here to heal. Well done. You made it. Let's get you to your workshop so that you can enjoy what you've got left of this. And I'll continue to be smiley and goofy and whatever you need so that you can have that mirror that you probably haven't experienced today, because how many people are bubbly when they're traveling? Not many. And those that are tend to be quite annoying. I know. I like providing that service. I like that I see people leave. I see people come into Omega with central nervous systems like this, and they leave with central nervous systems like this. That's amazing. I'm in awe of that. I like being of service to that. I'm just not tolerating what I'm seeing in the people that I've been working with this whole time, because I am seeing them being harmed by institutional bullshit. And I wasn't even really that harmed. I was just really pissed off by how illogical the argument was. That's my main problem with what happened. Don't be illogical with me. And don't give me bullshit. And get her out of the moldy trailer. For the love of God. For the love of Gaia. Because let me tell you right now, the person, I'm not going to name her, but I did do an Akashic record reading for her, and so I am still tapped into her ancestors, and boy howdy are they pissed. They are so angry. They are so angry that their baby is still in a moldy trailer because she's too nice to say anything. And she's not really paying attention to the fact that black mold is dangerous for her health because she's young and trusting and awesome. She needs to be moved to a place that is not moldy. Please do it if this is something that you're watching, PNC. And I am sorry that a public conversation is the only way that I feel safe talking to you, but that is the case. Also, I would like for everyone to know any conversation that I have with PNC about this or about probably anything at this point. New York is a one-party recording state. I consent to recording all of those conversations, so I will be. I'll probably keep it not I'm not going to put people's faces or whatever, but I do need everyone at Omega to know if you're going to have a conversation with me and you're a member of those leadership teams, I'm going to be recording that conversation for my own safety and personal protection and central nervous system regulation, because while I'm doing it, I'm tapping into a potential future viewer for my central nervous system regulating potential things. It also will make me a little bit more entertainment forward, so I probably will make more jokes, and that might piss you off. Yeah, might make you real angry. Yeah. Just be mindful. There's a camera recording. Other people will be watching it at some point. So, if that changes your behavior at all. Just saying. Just providing that information. Okay. This has been long. Thank you for watching this part. Let's see what happens at the OCSL, because I've been so excited to do that tour. I don't know if I'll get to record, but we'll see. I don't care how long this video is. You might, but I don't care. So, okay. Love you. Bye for now. All right. About to do a tour of the OCSL. And through these doors, at the moment, for this season, we also have an art exhibit. I'm not going to film the crew that's doing the tour. That feels rude. There's also guests who are part of this, so this is just going to be a silent, going to show you stuff, then going to tell you a little bit about the OCSL that I learned, because all I know right now going in, it's a water treatment facility, because all the water on Omega property is recycled, and it's delicious. So that's the extent of my knowledge right now. I'm excited to learn, and I'm sure I'm going to be having conversations with participants today about what I learned, so that they can have FOMO about the fact that they missed the tour. Well, you gotta come. Saturdays 1 to 2, Wednesdays 1 to 2. That's the tour time if you're thinking about coming to Omega. I know this is a weird video to have this in, but also this is cool. And I'm tacking it on to the rest of this video because this is my day. And this is a day-by-day vlog. And every day here is multiple days, multiple things. Yeah, so enjoy. So this is referred to as the lagoon in here, and out there are the wetlands and the sand and a number of other things that I will try to remember and tell you about in a minute. I have already kind of forgotten, but this is just one of the ways that the water is used and cleaned and goes back into the aquifers. There are 7 on site, and they are what provides us with this water for a closed loop system. Pretty amazing. Sorry, we're on a scavenger hunt right now. Mine was Monstera, which is over there, but I'm right here because, well, I just kind of wanted to keep showing you and talk about the plants, and yeah. And also, I will try to remember, but the wood on the outside, reclaimed from a mushroom farm. That little fact was just really cute, but I don't want to give you all the facts because I really want you to come here and take the tour for yourself and enjoy spending some time in the lagoon, and definitely not touching the water, but appreciating these lush plants with just everything here. This is really cool. This is really cool. Sorry for the crypticness of this, but this whole thing is step 5 of a 7-step process to filtering the water. And yeah, I know sand is involved. I'm the worst. I'm the worst at remembering things, y'all. I'm sorry. Also, it's been a very busy week. I'll tell you more about other things that are happening after the OCSL tour. If you need me, I'll just be in the Monstera from now on. Kind of just want to live here, you know? Oh, I'm so sorry. I kind of like, this just feels natural to me. This feels like a much more appropriate place to conduct every bit of business from, I think. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stay here. I think I just want to stay here forever. Sound good?
Awards and accolades on the wall there. And then there's a nice
just a final shot of some of what goes on in the OCSL. I'm gonna be honest, my capacity for retention of information, not ideal. But really cool little fact is the garden team is responsible for maintaining and sort of keeping everything up here, obviously, because look at the gardens. But they also like sweep. They don't use vacuums. Very little energy use here, very little electronics. There is a classroom over there that does have a few electronics in there, but not a whole lot. No air conditioning, and it's not like hot. It's a hot day today, but everything in there is pretty nice. So yeah, this is the OCSL. It's really cool. I feel like I'm not doing it justice with this little edition of a vlog after a complaint. This is a weird video. Let's go talk a little bit. So, this video started with a very long and then very passionate, all over the place, angry continuation of some complaints that I have here, followed by something that I am just deeply, deeply impressed by here. I am still a big fan of Omega, and I am just at a point of like, yeah, I guess I'm trying to get fired, but just with this. Only with this. A little bit to test and see what my reach is, I think. A little, just a little. What's my reach? I have 83 subscribers the last I looked. I did send yesterday's video to some specific coworkers, really just so they understood, because, you know, like, I'm sorry that I didn't really appreciate what my dog was doing for me. Or that, you know, yeah, I'm a highly neurodivergent person in this world, and I've had a really hard life, and the last couple of years have been extremely painful and hard and traumatizing. I've healed a lot of the trauma, but that doesn't mean that living in community where I can never energetically unplug or regulate with anything except for other people whose central nervous systems are doing this all the time, like, it's hard. Living here is hard. My dog is a coping tool. And that new romantic entanglement, that's over. Yeah, what he wants, what I want, what we want, not the same thing. And he's doing a little bit of like a yes, but no, like a little bit of a hot cold thing, and I'm not in a place of that. I'm very dragon energy this week. I'm very much like, no, you will appreciate what I am and what we are and what it is that we provide in any entanglement, or we won't be entangled like that, you know? So enjoyed the cuddles, enjoyed the kissing, enjoyed and appreciate that that's as far as it went. So yeah. And you know what? I got a week that I really needed some physical contact and like help, and got a lot of clarity on what I want. I do want a relationship. I do. A little scared that I'm gonna be alone forever, just because current trends seem to indicate that whatever it is that people think they want in a relationship with us, they change their minds pretty quickly once we basically show them what, I don't know, what our love actually looks like. Because we love everybody, but I guess I'm a person that just genuinely believes that if someone else is capable of understanding the kinds of contracts we have with each other, then they're also cool with just being like, oh, hi, I recognize that we have a contract together too. Yep, I can see that potential future too. I'm here. I'm here to like learn and figure out who we are to each other in this fast, passionate way, because that's what I would love to experience. So I kind of just like to put things out there, right? If you speak it, it can become more of a potential much more easily, because then your guides and everything in you gets to be clear. And we didn't actually date, so I didn't just break up with him, but he pulled back, and I was basically just like, that's fine. And then pulled back and was like, still, I don't know. There was just sort of a like, and then sort of like this and like that. And I was just like, no, not a game I want to play. So, bye. At least, bye for what we'd stepped into. No, thank you. No, thank you. I like that I can be that clear. And I like that I feel okay. Hurt, sad. He's still a Steve Irwin type. So, that's pretty cool. It didn't last long, but hey, childhood us, we did get like some intimate time with a Steve Irwin type. Had like the briefest of little whatever it was type of relationship with one. High five? High five. I need to go to work now and help whoever needs help next. And now I just play the waiting game of, when will anyone in leadership have a conversation with me I don't probably want to be having? I will never do a single thing here to compromise my work. I will do the literal best job I can, and I'm so excited to geek out about the OCSL with whichever participant tonight is definitely coming into guest services. I don't know, curious about it or something. Like, there's a reason today. There's a reason I did that today. I've been wanting to tour the OCSL for quite some time. Today it worked out. Yesterday was when I learned that, like, I don't know. I think I was just waiting to get a very specific, not invitation, but like kind of an invitation to go. Plus for it to line up, because I usually work during the tours. And it just did. It just lined up. It was the like, oh, this is when I've been waiting to do it. Okay, cool. And it worked out well, because he works in the garden, and he wasn't giving the tour, but he was there. So I got to close a loop on some things. Didn't mean to do that, but when opportunities align, they align. And I got to learn about the OCSL at the same time. So, my God, Omega's weird. Staff experience at Omega. You want to deal with all your relationship shit? Got 6 months of your life? Come here and try to be as like capable of coexisting as you can be, and bring whatever tools in your tool belt you can have, because You're going to be without them here. And once again, I will reiterate, if you have autism, that's going to be so hard. Even just the lack of the foods that you're used to is going to be more of a challenge than you think it will be. Trust me on that one. Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Let's find out what the fuck is about to happen next. More videos soon. Love you. Bye. Okay, hi again. I know I said goodbye already, and this is officially going to be probably the longest video that I've had on this channel so far. I think to reduce probably the views overall for my own like personal well-being and protection, because like I do want things here to change. I just want them to change because I put it out into the universe, not necessarily because there's been some big kerfuffle about Omega's terrible in the news, blah. Although, if my stuff ever went viral, like the last videos and this one would be what I would see happening, you know, I would hope that everyone can spin that into, yeah, see, we need help. Look what happens when we're not properly resourced. Who wants to help Omega? Because I would love that. I would just really love that. Anyway, though, so I'm sitting here journaling, getting ready to go into work, but like, you know, getting this stuff out of me so that I'm not taking any of my shit into the workplace so that I can help the people who need help here. Again, everyone comes here for their own healing. I need to be an open, helpful, receptive everything. So I did, I had like a flash in the pan, what to me was very romantic entanglement. And it was so big because this guy is who I remember having a contract with when I did my contract life-setting stuff. So during the near-death experience, I got to be on the other side and basically reset a few things, because you come in with a contract. Even when you're a new altar formation, you still have a life contract. You still, or a number of them, like I say one, but like you can think of like the Akashic record of your life, and in that is like an outline of all the experiences that you hope to have here, some of which are like time and whatever, but it's all very complicated. It depends very heavily on like the when of everything, right? It's really more just the experience of, because we're here to have the human experience. The stories that we play out are for our soul growth. That's why we're here. There's a lot more to it, and now is not the time, but we all have contracts with each other when we have any level of relationship with each other, any amount of just connecting at all. We got contracts, but especially when a relationship is like, I live and work in this place with you. I have you here in my bed and we are cuddling and talking and getting to know each other and kissing. Like, that's a big life contract situation. That's a very like, it's an anchor pointed type of thing. Anchor points are the parts of the outline, you know, like you might come in with a life script that says me and this person will have a romantic connection, period. Right? And when you do that, you actually also have the potentials of what that becomes too. There's the meeting of things, and then there's the what paths do you take together of things, and then we fill in the rest. Nothing is, everything both is predetermined and fully changeable at any moment based on what we're doing and based on the choices that we're making. And it gets really complicated here because of how open being here makes you to being able to see all of those potentials. All of the things in your potentials field become kind of visible here. And even if you're someone who hasn't been having visions of things in a way that you can define, you suddenly start just having all these thoughts, all these hopes, all these dreams, all these like, I can see us together like this moments, right? And that is so amplified here just because of the energy, because of everything that is happening here. And it makes for really intense and really fast relationship stuff, in addition to all the psychological reasons, because this is a short-term stint somewhere, and that just puts pressure on, okay, and go. Now, I will say, we are an okay and go group in here. Just because, yeah, the clarity that I've gotten this week really is I want to be partnered for sexual exploration, basically. I just do. I kind of didn't think that that was the case coming into Omega, honestly. I thought I was just interested in being kind of slutty a little bit. I came into Omega knowing that I had sexual activity contracts to coming due, basically, because I'd been asking, like, why am I going to Omega? What's the purpose? What's the this? What's the that? It can't possibly just be for healing. I mean, it is, but like, there's like, and not only that, but there's just a what is there for me, and that was one of the things that was very like, oh, okay, all right, sexual exploration time. Oh, okay, yeah, like the stammering, like, I want that, you know, that kind of feeling. And after 2 times now exploring physical touch with like cuddling first and then making out and then like the potential for more, followed by a very rapid, oh wait, no. From the, it's been men both times. I'm attracted to women. I'm tired of making the first move. This guy made the first move. And that was why I was like, yes. And seriously, total Steve Irwin type. So I keep repeating that because like it's just it's been a fun week, with the exception of the like pulling back and the oh no I don't want this, but not really communicating particularly well. That's why I was like, I can completely read exactly what this is and what you don't want, and it's not here, and respect, okay? You're free. Go. Go figure your shit out, because you don't want what we're giving. That's fine. But like, this is why it's so necessary when you do have things blow up in your face to take that time to just get curious about what the fuck that was all about. And it's why I actually really appreciate how intense the relationship stuff here is and how fast it happens, because you don't have time for patterns to really set in that you then have to disentangle. You're kind of just in this novelty space. And when you're in novelty space, you're just like, wow, what is going on? I don't know. Oh, it's over. Okay. And then you can just assess. It's a helpful thing. I don't want to do it anymore, personally. So that's nice. That's nice to know. It's really helpful to know. But I'm getting so much clarity on how our Akashic contracts work when it comes to manifesting, like just reality creation, and especially reality creation with relationships, because I get a lot of questions about relationships when I do Akashic record readings, and guides will provide information, but until a reader has a lived experience that provides enough context for explanations at higher levels, we struggle to translate things in ways that are always helpful. If you're with a reader who starts getting a little bit esoteric and a little bit vague, it's probably because that reader has not been through the experience on a personal level that gives them the capacity for context. So just know that. And it basically means for you, if you're getting a reading, that what you're receiving is really more so for you to digest than for them to explain. And what you're really getting out of that is the setup for a life path experience yourself. You're not going to get explained to by a reader. You have just now set yourself on the path of a very specific contract that you both just talked about, and that reader just pulled through for you. It's why, as long as it's an Akashic record reader, like, what's good is you're just connected and you're getting the information. And you are yourself, as the receiver, checking in as to what resonates and what doesn't. I'm sorry, I'm just going to check the time because I do got to get into work here. Okay, I've got a few more minutes. So anyway, I'm fascinated by that. I'm also really fascinated that I don't feel like crying. Like, because there truly with this man is a much longer term contract that exists for us in a very like idealized life kind of way. It's delightful. Seemed a little unrealistic even when it was like playing through me. I was just like, really? Okay. Definitely doesn't seem to be where he is now, but like growth happens, I guess, in that direction. Definitely part of the like, definitely part of the, yeah, I see that. I don't think he does, which tells me that he's not aligned to the same contract that I'm apparently aligned to. And so we're just going to bump into each other, course correct each other a little bit, and I'm going to go this way and he's going to go that way so that we hit our next contracts, basically. Because we do that plenty too. We bump into each other just for a little bit of course correction as we're bumping our way through the timelines right now, you know? We do that. And I had a lot of fun. I kind of don't think he'll watch this video. Yeah. And I've already kind of shut off a lot of the like read on a situation. And there's sort of a like internal, like, okay, we're taking this offline and that offline and this offline and that offline. Because when you do open yourself up to somebody in a way that for you is very love based and very romantic, which apparently that's just where I go. I learned so much this week. I really did. I learned that a relationship is what I want because, like, Randy's a good husband. He just is not compatible with me, not as much with us. We make him a little bit miserable as a spouse. As a friend, we're delightful, but as a spouse, you know, it's just hard. But he's attentive and loving, and I have always felt prioritized. And I'm only interested in that if I'm doing anything sexual with somebody. I don't want to be, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not interested in sex with somebody who's actively in the process of finding themselves and what they want because they've been prioritizing other people their whole lives, and so now they're just going the opposite direction. I'm like, I get that. I don't think it's healthy to say, like, I'm not prioritizing anybody, but I get it, especially if you're used to relationship patterns that are just bad for you. But I don't know. I like to think that, I mean, I said it to him last night, actually. I'm kind of a bridge for a lot of things. It's a little bit part of my role here. Sometimes catalyst, sometimes bridge. All times providing the other with what they need. It's part of why I came back to do this on a grander scale. I am actively seeking just partnership because I do like having a partner. I like doting on somebody. I like trying to make their dreams come true. And oversharing. My kingdom for a person that loves an oversharer. I vlog. Why wouldn't I want what I'm doing here to be what I have in my bedroom, you know? You're in bed with me right now. Isn't what's behind me like a little bit sexual? Kinda. It's chakra, but like, I mean, I know what I did there. I'm aware. I don't know if people understand how aware of like everything I am all the time. I think they're finding out. And I think it's worrying a few people. They're like, wait, Charlie's like always aware of what people are possibly saying, doing, thinking. I mean, no, but when you're a channeler and an Akashic record reader, information's just around and you just, it's like a billboard, just pops on through. Whatever's in my high is good to know. I don't go picking, I don't go asking. And I have no way of really validating what's true or what's not, so I kind of just always don't really believe most things. I was kind of right about this relationship, though. Because it wasn't, well, it is a relationship. It was a relationship. It is not, though. Not romantically, but I got to play in the romance space for a few days while, you know, got to reset a few things. Got to bump into a different timeline, basically. He helped with that because he helped consolidate. So stinking crazy cool. It's just cool. It's cool. Being a human is cool. And I like having a spark of curiosity again. I'd lost that. I'd lost that a lot in recent weeks and kind of months. So, especially curiosity about stuff that I can like translate to help people later. Oh, so grateful for that. So cool. And I like feeling this way instead of just being hurt by the fact that yet another person is like gets to know us and is like, oh fuck no. What can I say? I was very excited to hear this person say that he liked unicorns, like meaning people that were unique. And I'm still in like slight takedown energy, and I did when I wrote a thing, because we had a little writing exchange back and forth, and I did get a little spicy, and just pointed out, I was like, I don't know, I question if you really understand the mechanics of unicorn maintenance in relationships. Like, if you want to be with a unicorn, you have to deal with what it means to be with a unique human. You have to communicate more. You have to be okay with the fact that things are going to be very different. And, you know, appreciate who you're with. Please. I just say that to everybody that also likes unique people, but is maybe doing the whole, I'm not prioritizing other people, I'm only prioritizing myself. Okay, well, if that's the case, don't engage with unicorns. Don't do that. Or do, because it's very helpful for both of you, but like, be kind and respectful at all times. I got to be with somebody who was, and I'm really grateful for that. And we're just gonna go back to like hugs when we see each other, and like maybe talking in the dining hall, and that'll be it. Or at least that's what I told him I wanted, so that's where we are. It's just like, I don't like this and it hurts, so I'm gonna shut this down. But he'd already kind of shut it down, so I gotta go to work. This is bye for real for today. I love you so much. I'm just checking. I kind of feel like there's like maybe something else that could come, possibly to talk, but let's save it for tomorrow. Okay. So much is happening. I'm so tired. Oh, I'm so happy I have tomorrow off. I'm probably going to spend it either in bed or at a waterfall. We'll see. We'll see. Waterfall? Does that sound good? That sounds nice. Okay, I love you. Bye. We'll talk soon.